Ian, Tom, a great 3 points, a 1-0 win against Slough Town. Ian, first and foremost, initial thoughts?
A bit frustrating, to be fair, Graham. I felt we could have given it away in the first half. I felt we were a little bit sloppy. I think we missed some unbelievable chances to put the game to bed. We didn't. But the boys have had an unbelievable 2 weeks. I think this is the 6th game in 2 weeks. You know, we're in there now. We've got probably 5 players with ice on hamstrings, groins, and thighs. And to get the 3 points today was massive in terms of where we were. I felt we could play better, but the pitch has been dried out, and players were just complaining there how bad that is. So we need to have a really long, hard look at what we've got to do with the pitch to get that right before the next game, because it's not conducive to good football. I thought we played some unbelievable football. Zane's probably could have had a hat-trick today, but the most important thing is we won the game.
Fantastic. And Tom, great to see you back. You've been connecting really well with St Banton down that left flank, and some beautiful crossing, in particular the first half, which was just eluded by a few players. How do you feel it's going for you so far, getting back into that left-back position?
The fitness is coming slowly but surely. I always knew it was going to be difficult coming back into the team after the period of time I was on the sidelines with COVID. But my job first and foremost is to defend. It's, you know, I'm a very different player to Alex, but Alex is a lot more athletic than me, getting up and down the pitch. I'm completely different. I'm going to defend, and if I can support and cross the ball, I am. I'm not going to try and take players on. That's just not my game. But it's a massive 3 points for us today. You know, I'm absolutely delighted for this guy standing next to me, and Chris and Connie and everyone else in the staff, because they work tirelessly to get us ready for games. And there's times where the players let themselves down. It's no one else, but it's the players. You know, these can say whatever they like, but it's us out on the pitch that ultimately make the decisions and, you know, play the football. So it all comes down to us as a group. And I think the last few weeks we've started to galvanise some momentum. Obviously that took a bit of a knock at Chippenham, but you know, before that the performances have been immense, you know, from everyone. As he said, we've got a tough period coming up, so we just need to make sure that we can keep this form going.
Ian, a lot of great performances today, but I just want to pick out Bailey Brown. He's had a full 92, 93 minutes today. We had Simon Martin on co-commentary with us. We gave him man of the match. How do you feel he's progressing for you?
He's doing really well, Graham. I mean, listen, I'll take full responsibility for the defeat at Chippenham. I changed the side, changed the personnel, and I shouldn't have done it. No one realises how important that 0-0 against Maidstone was last Saturday. I don't think no one realises how tough that game was. I don't think no one realises how good Maidstone are. And you've seen Maidstone have gone and beat Ebbsfleet 4-0 on Tuesday night, and they've won 5-1 at Concord today. So when you look at that performance last Saturday, it was fantastic. I should never have changed the side on Tuesday night. I got too complicated in my own mind in terms of what we was playing against, and I take full responsibility for that defeat. But today, Bailey has been outstanding in terms of what he had to do. We asked him to sit in there and keep the ball for us, which he did. And it's difficult because he's come into this football club 8 to 9 weeks after the season has started. So he didn't do a pre-season with us. He didn't know or understand how we played, so he's had to grasp all of that. And he's also come into a side that's not playing with the greatest confidence in the world. So for him to do what he's done today has been fantastic. He's got lots and lots of learning to do. But today, as I say, his performance was excellent, and we have to say well done to him for his performance.
Tom, so this victory today, do you think it will raise that confidence? Do you think it can kick you on to hopefully have another 14-match unbeaten run, which is what the season started with?
I'd like to say so, but unfortunately I can't predict the future. It's every win is a step in gaining confidence, and you know, I said it in the change room after the Chippenham game. Winning becomes a habit, but unfortunately so does losing. So when you do go through a bad spell, you know, we're not the only ones in this league. You know, there's teams that couldn't win a game at the start of the season and are on unbelievable runs now. So at this level, it's going to happen. It happens at all levels. So we just need to make sure that, you know, when it's going well, we don't get too high, and when it's not going well, we don't get too low. You know, I think what you've seen happen at Slough over the last week, 10 days, it puts things into perspective. I mean, like my deepest thoughts go out to all of them, you know, especially Neil. It's been a hard time on all of them. And I think you need to realise that us as players, we're very fortunate to go and play football. if everyone goes out there, gives it their best, tries to do the right things and leaves everything out on the pitch, you can't go far wrong. No one wants to lose, obviously, but it really puts into perspective what's really important. It is football at the end of the day. No one goes out there to make mistakes, and we just need to make sure that we try and build the confidence, but not get too high about it, and then take that into the next 6 weeks.
And that was great to see, wasn't it, Tom, with the Slough players, the Saints players, and even the whole of Clarence Park just clapping, just to obviously give that respect back to the Slough management team on obviously what's happened there in a situation this week. And Ian, you have got this great squad. We know that. We know every team in a season has a bit of a lull period. Hopefully now we can move on from that. But since we are in that January transfer window, we've got to ask the question. No doubt, as a manager, you're always looking at players. You've got a scouting network. It is a great squad you've got. But have you got any plans or any ideas of if you want to add to that?
Well, first and foremost, we're not in a transfer window, so we can sign players at any stage, at any time of the season. So
I'm not going to see you on Sky Sports tomorrow night then.
No. We
on Monday night.
Spending a bit more money on it, but as I've said all along, we're always out there. Every week we're looking at is some player out there that's going to improve this football team and improve the squad we've got at the moment. So if we're not doing that, then we're not doing things correctly. We're actively out there looking at the moment. We're actively talking to one or two clubs. But again, we've got to make sure that the right players that come in and they fit into the changing room first and foremost, and they fit into the style of football that we want. Any team that signs players at this stage of the season are doing it in desperation. And at the moment, I don't feel we're in a desperation stage. But we are in a situation where we might just improve the squad to pick the season back up and take us to another level. So, and that's not being disrespectful to anybody in terms of what we've got in the change rooms. These are the same players, Graham, that took us to the top of the league. Mm-hmm. They're the same players that took us to 16 games unbeaten. They're the same players that beat Forest Green. They're the same players that have allowed Sean Jeffers to get 27 goals, I think it is, in a season. So I've got to be very careful I just don't throw them over the cliff and forget about what an unbelievable job these boys have done for this football club. And I'm not going about to do that. If we do it, we need to make sure that the boys that we get them out and get some games if we do decide to bring a couple of bodies in, because these boys have been outstanding for this football club this season, and I will not allow any of these boys just to be thrown under a bus, because the way they've performed for me, for their teammates, for themselves, for my coaching staff, for the changing room and for this football club has been outstanding. And I'm not about to throw anyone under the bus. We're just trying to improve everybody. We're just to try and make them better. And if we bring one or two in, it's going to make us better, then we'll do it. But then we've got to make sure they fit into what we're doing in and around the changing room.
Thank you, Ian. And finally then, Tom, so 1,489 packed into Clarence Park again. I mean, you must be delighted, you've said this before, that they do help kick you on as a player. It's going well, isn't it?
It is. I think the crowd's been fantastic over the past 18 months since they've been allowed back in. Obviously, it helps when you're more up the higher end of the table than near the bottom. But the more of them that come along and support us, hopefully we can keep putting performances in and give them something to cheer about, because it does make a massive difference.
Fantastic. Well, Tom, Ian, congratulations for your 3 points tonight, and long may that continue.
Thank you, Graham. Appreciate that. Thank you.